Think you're in control of your daily choices? Think again. From the moment you wake up and check your smartphone to that late-night snack you accidentally ordered on a whim, you're being played by some of the most sophisticated psychological systems ever devised. Big corporations spend billions, not just on product development, but on psychological warfare designed to keep you clicking, spending, and consuming. We're talking about secret smells pumped into streets to trigger hunger, the intentional breaking of your expensive devices to force an upgrade, and tracking systems so invasive they know more about your personal life than your own family does. Welcome to our deep dive into the hidden world of industry giants. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the titans of commerce. We've done the research, fact-checked the conspiracies, and even dodged a few legal threats to bring you the truth. So, get ready, because after this, you'll never look at a Big Mac, an iPhone, or a simple diamond ring the same way again. Let's dive into the secrets they definitely didn't want us to find. Have you ever noticed that almost every major fast food chain uses a very specific color combination? Walk down any high street and you'll see a sea of red and yellow. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Pizza Hut, In-N-Out, Carl's Jr. It's like they all shared the same interior designer from a very vibrant nightmare. Well, they didn't share a designer, but they certainly shared the same psychological research. This is known in the industry as the ketchup and mustard theory. Studies in color psychology show that the color red is physically stimulating. It actually increases your heart rate and raises your blood pressure. More importantly, it is a primary trigger for appetite. It makes you feel a sense of urgency and hunger. Yellow, on the other hand, is the easiest color for the human eye to see from a distance, and it's mentally associated with happiness, friendliness, and optimism. But when you combine them, something magical happens for the corporation's bottom line. The red makes you hungry and urgent, while the yellow makes the brand feel approachable. However, there's a hidden catch. That same combination of red and yellow, while great for attracting you, actually becomes visually irritating after about 20 minutes. This is intentional. Fast food brands don't want you lounging for 4 hours. They want you to come in, eat quickly, feel a subconscious need to leave, and vacate the seat for the next paying customer. It's a visual get out sign hidden in plain sight, ensuring the high turnover business model keeps humming. Ever wondered why you rarely see blue in fast food? That's because blue is a natural appetite suppressant, something these companies avoid like the plague. If you feel like your smartphone starts acting up, slowing down, or losing battery life right when the shiny new model is released, you aren't being paranoid. You're a victim of the oldest trick in the corporate book: planned obsolescence. This isn't just a conspiracy theory. It's a documented business strategy that dates back exactly 100 years. In 1924, a group of the world's leading light bulb manufacturers, including GE, Osram, and Philips, formed what was known as the Phoebus Cartel. Before this, light bulbs were actually getting too good. Some bulbs were lasting upwards of 2,500 hours. The cartel realized that if they sold a bulb that never broke, they'd eventually run out of customers. So they secretly agreed to limit the lifespan of all light bulbs to just 1,000 hours. They even fined members whose bulbs lasted too long. Fast forward to the 21st century. Technology giants have been caught throttling older phone processors via software updates. While they claimed it was to preserve battery life and prevent unexpected shutdowns, critics and several European courts pointed out that it suspiciously encouraged users to ditch their slow old phone for a new one. This led to the famous Batterygate scandal, where Apple had to pay out hundreds of millions in settlements. From washing machines with plastic parts designed to fail after the warranty expires, to inkjet printers that claim ink is empty when the cartridges are still 20% full, corporations ensure that nothing you buy is truly yours to keep forever. It's a cycle of waste that feeds the engine of endless growth. Major theme parks and high-end retailers are often called dream worlds, but they are also the most scientifically manipulated environments on the planet. While you're looking at the displays, they are busy hacking your nose. This technology is often called scent marketing, and it's far more advanced than a simple air freshener. Take Disney parks, for example. If you've ever walked down a theme park main street and suddenly felt an overwhelming craving for fresh vanilla cookies or buttery popcorn, you've been hit by a smellitizer. These are patented scent-emitting machines hidden behind vents and under benches. Unlike a normal bakery that relies on the oven, these systems pump scents directly into the air using pressurized systems. They pump out the smell of baked goods in the morning to drive sales, and peppermint during the holidays to boost the spirit. But it's not just about food. Inside various rides, they pump salty sea air, gunpowder, or even musty old wood smells. Why? Because smell is the only sense directly hardwired to the parts of your brain that process emotion and memory. By controlling what you smell, they anchor intense, happy emotions to their brand. Years later, a whiff of vanilla in a grocery store might trigger a subconscious urge to book another expensive vacation. High-end hotels even have signature scents pumped through their AC units, so you subconsciously associate that specific smell with luxury and comfort, making you a loyal customer for life. Have you ever wondered why movie theater popcorn comes in small, medium, and large, or the medium is almost the same price as the large? It seems like a mistake by the management, right? Wrong. That medium is a decoy, and its only job is to make you spend more money. Corporations use the decoy effect to nudge you toward the most expensive option by making the choice feel like company sense. Imagine a scenario with only two choices, a small popcorn for $3 and a large for $7. Most people might think $7 is too much, so they pick the $3 small. But if the theater adds a medium for $6.50, the psychology shifts. Suddenly, the large at $7 looks like an absolute steal. You think, for only 50 cents more, I get way more. I'm beating the system. In reality, the theater never wanted to sell you the medium. They priced it specifically to make the large look like a bargain. You feel like you're winning, but the company just tricked you into spending $7 instead of $3. This tactic is used everywhere, from the way tech companies tier their tablet storage to the way coffee shops size their drinks. Even subscription services use it, offering a web-only subscription, a print-only subscription, and a web plus print for the same price as the print one. They aren't selling you a product, they're selling you a deal that they've carefully engineered to maximize their profit. Amazon knows what you want before you even buy it. And no, they haven't hired a team of psychics. Instead, they use a terrifyingly accurate patent called anticipatory shipping. Think about the last time you bought something online and it arrived in what felt like record time, maybe even just a few hours. That's because, in many cases, that item was already moving toward you before you even clicked the Buy Now button. Their algorithms analyze your entire digital footprint, your search history, how many seconds your mouse hovers over a specific product image, items left in your cart, and even your past return history. If the AI is confident enough that a customer in a specific area will buy a certain coffee maker this weekend, Amazon will ship that item from a massive warehouse to a local delivery hub near your house before the order is placed. By the time you finally give in to that shopping urge, the package is already 5 miles away. They are literally gambling on your future desires. But it's not just shipping. They also use dynamic pricing, where the price of an item might change based on how much the AI thinks you specifically are willing to pay at that exact moment. Have you ever run into a grocery store just for a gallon of milk and walked out 40 minutes later with a full cart and a $100 receipt? Supermarket layouts are designed to be a trap for your wallet. The most essential items, milk, eggs, and bread, are almost always placed at the very back of the store, as far from the entrance as possible. To get to that 1 gallon of milk, you are forced to walk through a gauntlet of tempting snacks and limited time offers. Along the way, you're hit with eye-level marketing. Notice how the most expensive, high-margin name brands are placed exactly at eye level? Meanwhile, the cheaper store brands are tucked away on the bottom shelf where you have to bend down. Even the shopping carts are part of the scheme. Carts have been getting progressively larger over the decades. Research shows that when a cart size doubles, consumers buy on average 40% more. Why? Because a half-empty cart creates a subconscious void that we feel the need to fill. Also, have you noticed the lack of windows and clocks? Like casinos, supermarkets want you to lose track of time. Throw in some soft, slow-tempo music to keep you walking slowly, and you have a recipe for spending way more than you ever intended. They even place candy and impulse buys at the checkout because they know your decision fatigue is at its peak by the time you reach the register. This is perhaps the most shocking secret of the high fashion world. Brands like Burberry, Louis Vuitton, Cartier, and Nike have been caught in scandals for burning tens of millions of dollars worth of unsold clothes, watches, and bags. You might ask, why not just donate them or sell them at a discount? The answer is cold-blooded. Exclusivity is their only real product. Luxury brands believe that if their high-end goods are seen on the wrong people, the brand loses its prestige in the eyes of the wealthy elite. If a $2,000 designer jacket is sold for $50 at a discount store, the people who paid full price will feel cheated, and the brand's image as a status symbol will collapse. To keep prices sky high and maintain the illusion of rarity, these companies would rather turn their inventory into ash than let it be sold for cheap. In 2018 alone, Burberry admitted to burning over $37 million worth of stock. While some brands have promised to stop due to massive environmental backlash, the practice of destroying excess luxury remains a dark secret of an industry built on the perception of value rather than the reality of it. Think you're safe from the prying eyes of social media because you never signed up for an account? Think again. One of the tech world's biggest secrets is the existence of shadow profiles. Major social media corporations maintain data files on millions of people who have never used their services. They do this through like and share buttons you see on almost every news site. Even if you don't click them, the code behind them tracks your IP address and browsing habits. Then there are tracking pixels, invisible bits of code embedded on millions of websites that report back to the home office whenever you visit a page about health, finance, or hobbies. But the biggest source of info is your friends. When someone signs up for an app and clicks Allow Access to Contacts, the company scrapes every phone number and email in their phone, including yours. They cross-reference this data to build a shadow profile. They know who your friends are, where you work, and what your interests are, all without you ever agreeing to a single terms of service. In the digital age, if you aren't paying for the product, you are the product being sold. They aren't just selling your data, they're selling the ability to predict and influence your future behavior. Coca-Cola's secret formula is perhaps the most famous trade secret in history. The company leans heavily into the myth. They claim the recipe is locked in a high-tech vault in Atlanta, that only 2 executives know it at any given time, and that those 2 are never allowed to fly on the same plane together. But here's the real corporate secret. The mystery is far more valuable than the recipe itself. While the formula is indeed guarded, many food scientists argue that with modern chemistry, we can identify every single molecule in a can of Coke. Any major competitor could, and some have, replicated the flavor almost perfectly. The secret isn't the ingredients, it's the marketing aura. By keeping it a secret, Coke has created a multi-billion-dollar myth of originality that no competitor can touch. People don't just buy a soda, they buy the real thing. Also, here's a fact they don't put on the label. Coca-Cola has a long-standing relationship with a chemical plant in New Jersey that is the only facility in the U.S. authorized to import coca leaves. They process them to remove the cocaine, which goes to a pharmaceutical company, and use the spent leaves for flavoring. It's a government-sanctioned monopoly on a specific flavor profile that has lasted for over a century. The biggest trick ever pulled on humanity wasn't by a magician, it was by a diamond company. For nearly a century, the De Beers cartel held a near-total monopoly on the world's diamond supply. Contrary to popular belief, diamonds aren't actually that rare. In fact, they are far more common in the Earth's crust than rubies or emeralds. In the late 1800s, massive diamond mines were discovered in South Africa. The investors realized that if all these diamonds hit the market, they'd be as cheap as marbles. So they formed De Beers to strictly control how many diamonds were released each year to create artificial scarcity. But their biggest stroke of genius came in 1938 with the "A Diamond is Forever" campaign. Before this, people rarely bought diamonds for engagement rings. They hired top ad agencies to convince the world that a diamond was the only way to prove your love. They even invented the rule that a man should spend 2 months' salary on a ring. They turned a common, industrial-grade rock into the ultimate status symbol. If everyone tried to sell their diamonds back tomorrow, the price would crash because a diamond's value only exists as long as we all believe the myth they created. Mind blown. Which of these corporate secrets shock you the most? Is it the fact that your favorite store is designed to make you lose track of time? Or that tech companies have a file on you even if you've never used their apps? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you, and your feedback helps us choose the topics for our next deep dives. If you enjoyed this look behind the corporate curtain, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss our daily dose of extraordinary facts and hidden histories. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time you're in a store and feel a sudden urge to buy something you didn't need, look up. They might be watching you back. We'll see you in the next